Hi everyone. This is to try to help a little bit with the portfolios you're doing, specifically if you're doing them in Google Drive. We had a request, someone wasn't quite understanding how to create a digital table of contents. So there's kind of two ways you can go about doing this. So one, I'm going to kind of step through the whole process. You're going to want to start a file folder, and we gave you conventions for naming it. It has something to do with first name, initial, last name, initial, writing program, EP. I don't remember it, but you get what I mean. So you need to name a folder. Now, my suggestion is right after you create that folder, right click on this and share it. And this I can say, you're specifically sharing it with me. So R. Rodrigo, didn't like it, at email, yada da, yada da. So share that with me. And the nice thing is once you do that, I have it. I'll put it in the shared writing program teaching portfolio folder, which you actually see on the screen. And then whatever you do in that folder, you know everything is shared. So I don't need to share it with myself because I am myself, so I'm going to be done. Then make sure you click and you're in the folder. Now, once you've shared this with me, you could again share up here. There it is. Once you share this with me, whatever you do in this folder is automatically shared. So that's why my suggestion of just share the folder and then do the stuff in the folder that you need to do. So what's probably going to happen is you're going to move a bunch of files over here. You can do that in a variety of ways. One, you can drag and drop. So I could drag these files that are over on my desktop and drop it in there. You can also, well, heck, I'll do that. Okay. You can also use the new button, and there's a file upload option. So pretend you've dragged and dropped a bunch of files in here. Notice I'm also going to start a new one. And notice I'm doing all the work from within here. Within that folder, because I want everything to be in that folder. Okay, so if we go back to looking at the folder, there should be two documents in here. There we go. First I want to show you is that Microsoft Word documents show up as a little W, and if you have an Excel, it'll show up as an E. Instead of this little blue box is the Google Doc document. This will become important when you're trying to make links to things. So pretend you now have your table of contents document. You're going to have stuff at the top. Again, I don't want this video to go on forever, but so say your teaching portfolio table of contents has these three things: teaching philosophy, TCEs, and major assignment prompts. I'm going to make this larger. The question is, how do you link from this document? How do you link to the documents that exist over here? There's two ways to do that. There's two ways based on the type of files that you're doing. So first, you need to have the URL or the web address that you're going to link to. So if you're linking to just another Google Doc document, you would just open that document. So please notice it's the same one. You'd open it, grab the URL at the top, copy and paste that, and then you'd come back to your document, highlight the word you want to link, and come up here and find the little chain icon, link icon, and paste in that URL. So now I've created a link to that Google Doc. What becomes a little trickier is if you moved all of your documents, if you uploaded all of your documents and they're all Microsoft Word documents, here's the interesting thing. You can't just click on this and grab this URL up here. This URL, if you read really closely, I'm going to highlight right here, it still says folders. If you grab this URL, what you're actually grabbing is the URL to this entire folder. And unless things are labeled really well, it won't be helpful in making links to individual documents. Now, if you right click on the document and you get shareable link, the frustrating thing with that is for them to give you this link, it means you're turning on sharing that anyone can see that. You might not want that to be the case. What you can do is go to sharing settings, turn this back off to only specific people can see it, and then copy the link. So, pretending that that was my TCEs, I'm going to click the little chain, I'm going to paste the URL. Now, if I click on this link, it pulls up the specific Microsoft Word document. Needless to say, it's not TCEs. It's a project that Christina and I are working on. But hopefully that clues you in onto having to be careful in how you make these specific links. My suggestion, humble suggestion, up to you whether or not you do it. Sometimes it makes sense to leave these documents as Microsoft Word. They're formatted very carefully or something like that. And if that's the case, then you kind of have to do this 2-3 step to find the URL. If it's not, say it's just an assignment prompt, or it's your teaching philosophy, and formatting is not a super high concern, or it's very easy for you to reformat, my suggestion is you actually convert the document to a Google Doc, and that's just by opening it as a Google Doc. And so hold on, we're going to go back here, and we're going to let it open. There we go. Notice it has the title up here. It's the exact same title. And then if I go back now into this folder, there's 2 versions. So by opening it as a Google Doc, you now can just grab this URL at the top. It takes you to the direct document. And what then, just for cleanup purposes, you'd want to come back and remove the old Microsoft Word version. That's, I think, the most expedient way to making sure your links work. The last thing I just want to say is in terms of making table of contents. So this is table of contents linking out to other documents. You may have a really long document and that you want table of contents within it. So say maybe you do your entire teaching portfolio as a single document. I'm trying to think, yeah, you could probably do that. And what it would mean is you would have large sections of text with headers and subheaders. So Google Docs, like Microsoft Word, both applications do this, allow you to use heading and subheading features to create tables of contents. So if I take this word header and change it to where it's heading level number 1, and I take subheader and I change it to where it's heading number 2, and then if I come up here at the top, insert table of contents, it's going to link down to those sections. Now, right now with a document that's empty, this is kind of irrelevant. However, if this is a document that's 20 pages long, all of a sudden being able to link to separate sections within the document can be very useful. Hopefully this gives you all ideas on how you might organize some of your material for the ePortfolio and some of the linking functions and tips and tricks to think about the linking functions within Google Docs.